Okay, in the last screencast we looked a little bit at conduction. There's a term that sits alongside conduction and it's the opposite. It's insulation. And you'll hear the pen tapping on the screen there as I write. Insulation refers to things that do not conduct well. Everything conducts because everything has particles that can bump into each other and pass the energy along. But some things don't conduct well. You remember last time we finished off just talking a little bit about gases, and we said their particles are far apart. They move very quickly, but as they zoom through the gas, they zoom straight past each other and don't actually collide with each other very much. So they're not very good at conducting heat because they don't pass the heat from one particle to another. Doesn't happen. So gases are very often what we call insulators, which is another way of saying that they are poor conductors of heat. So why might we want to talk about conductors and insulators? Well, we use them in different ways. So we want to think a little bit about their uses. Conductors allow heat to go from hot place to a cold place. So places where we want heat to travel, conductors are helpful. In places where we don't want heat to travel, insulators are more useful because they stop heat going from the hot place to the cold place. So let's think, what are some places where we might want to have conductors? We might want to have heat going from the hot place to the cold place. Well, if I've got something cold that I want to heat up, then I may want a conductor to help the heat get in there. Remember the things which are good conductors? Particularly metals. So if I've got some cold food in a pot that I want to heat up, I'm going to want to make that pot out of a metal so that the heat from the stove can be conducted through my conductor. Often we use copper or iron or aluminium in cooking pots to heat my food up, and then I get some nice hot dinner. Yum. Insulators, on the other hand, stop the heat getting through from the hot place to the cold place. So if I've got something that's hot and I don't want it getting cold, then I might want to use an insulator. Having made my hot soup or whatever it is, I might want to keep it warm. So I might put into a cup, and you know those special travel cups that you can get which have an insulating layer? Often they have polystyrene or even just an air gap in between the two layers of the cup, so that when I put my hot soup in and I put my lid across the top, the heat stays in the soup and doesn't escape because I've got an insulator that helps prevent the heat getting out. Really useful, really important.